Hey everybody, I wanted to give you an overview of how to access the LinkedIn Analytics. And so you should, when you log onto LinkedIn, you have pages here. Feel free to click on the United Way DHRC. This should take you to the page. And this is my view because I'm added as a super admin, but as an analyst, it should say that you're an analyst and you have that analyst view. And so you should be able to access this tab of analytics here. And if you click on that, you have three different views. There's visitors, updates, and followers. Visitors are people who are not following the page. Updates are posts that the page has made, and followers are analytics about the people that are following the page. So let's start with visitors. So with visitors, we have insights on how many page views we have, the unique visitors we have, and the custom button clicks. So starting from the left, the page views, those are just the total number of views that your page has received. So, someone has viewed this page, the United Way's LinkedIn page, over 100 times this week. They've had over 50 or about 50 unique visitors. So the difference between a unique visitor and a regular visitor is a unique visitor is someone different. So they've had 50 different people view their LinkedIn page this week, or at least between this time frame. This is the last 30 days, sorry, not a week. And so the reason this is important is because you could have 150 viewers or visitors, but if it's, the same two people who just love going back to the United Way page, that's not really helpful. Being able to say that you've had 50 different or unique people view your page over the last month is a little more insightful. And then custom button clicks. This is the amount of people over the last month who have clicked on either buttons on the page, like going to the website or exploring something more and interacting with that. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. So you can see the visitor metrics, and it can tell you the types of tools that visitors were using to visit your page. So you kind of have these different spikes and this ebb and flow of information. And you can aggregate this type of traffic by clicking on this tab here, and it'll put it all together. So we can see that we had a spike in visitors on March 2nd, and with desktop and mobile both taken into account, there were 9 people in total, which was 13% more than the previous day, which only had 8. And then, this day had a lot more than the day before it. So it's all kind of, have to fiddle around with it to get the information, but that's a cool tool. So maybe an insight is that, they have more visitors on desktop rather than mobile, and so their content should be desktop suited rather than mobile suited. And then you can get to the visitor demographics and understand what kinds of people roughly are visiting their page on LinkedIn. And this will tell you the job functions. So someone, 7 people from human resources, 6 people from consulting, about 5 people from marketing, things like that will help them understand what types of content they should be posting. The important thing to remember here is let's think about who is running the LinkedIn page. It's likely people from human resources, marketing, and sales. And so with these designations, we need to think about, okay, if 4 of the admins within United Way have these job functions, some of this information is void. It needs to be taken into account that the people who run the page may also be skewing the data. So if we scroll back up to analytics, we can go into updates, and updates is going to give us an overview of the different posts that the United Way has made on LinkedIn over the last 30 days. Up top, it'll tell you how many reactions they have, how many comments they've received, and how many shares they've received. Over the last month, the numbers are looking pretty low, and we can see that outlined here in this graph. We can see, though, that there was a spike in organic traffic. People viewed the post 166% more than the previous post or the previous day. And really quickly, the difference between organic and paid is that organic is simply free. So the United Way isn't spending any money on promoting these posts. So all the interactions they have are organic or free. So again, let's see, this was posted on March 3rd, or they had the most traffic on March 3rd. So we can scroll down and see, okay, what was posted on March 3rd? Okay, it looks like Holly posted a video that'll open in a new tab. And it looks like almost a short 5-minute video, almost like a GIF, that has a LinkedIn link to it. And if you click on that, it'll take you out to their website where you can donate based on the post. So what's important here is that we can already see that the reason that this received a lot of traffic was because it was a video. So there were 122 impressions, which means 122 people saw it. There were 30 total video views, and of those video views, 2 people clicked on the link. So this is your CTR, your calculated there it is. Sorry, your calculated clicks over impressions. So basically, what this is saying that you have 1.64% of people clicking through on your video. So, an insight or something we can think about is how can we improve this? There were 3 reactions in total, no comments, no shares. Yeah, that's basically it. They didn't gain any followers from this post, and their engagement rate in total was 4.1%. So how can we improve the click-through rate, the CTR, of videos? What could be done differently if this is what they are doing now? And that's kind of the analytics and the insights that we want to think about. So we can also let's look here. So your feedback matters to us. I'll take a quick tour of their online survey and all these things. So this is a link to a survey out to their website with a photo that was posted or a graphic. But while this received far fewer impressions, remember impressions are views, it received a much higher click-through rate, and the engagement rate was also much higher. Now, we have to think that this is also relative to the total impressions, and so the numbers are going to be a little different. But there's still an insight we can take away from this. Maybe this has something to do with the fewer words in the post, or maybe the graphic was more enticing to viewers. These are the kind of insights we want to think about when we're providing recommendations to the United Way. And then finally, we can go to followers, and followers is going to give us the total number of followers for the page and how many they gained over the last month. So they gained about 7 followers, which is 133% more than the previous time period. And this will show us, how many followers they received on each day. So they received 1 on March 5th, 1 on March 1st, 1 on February 15th, for example. And here are some of the followers. Looks like Mitch from class was a new follower. Nice. And then this is going to give you an idea of where the followers are coming from. So we can see that the majority are from Indiana. But then there's a couple from Indianapolis, and then the Chicago, that says New York. And then you have things like this, like people from Mumbai, or people from Sao Paulo. And so taking that into consideration, we could really dig into why this is occurring. And it could simply be that, this individual thought that the United Way's page, or these 4 individuals, excuse me, thought that the page was something different. In the past, I've had interactions where pages are similar to different pages that someone knows about, and they follow it on accident. But maybe there is a purpose here. That could be something to dig into. And you can also filter this by location, job function, the seniority of somebody. So if we go by job function, we can see that a lot of people are in business development who are following the United Way. Also, a lot of people in community and social services. A couple of people in information technology. These are all information, this is all information that we can use to help provide recommendations to the United Way to provide better insights and create better content for them to gain followers in different areas. We can even look at, the different seniority levels they have. So a lot of people that follow the United Way are entry level. Then the second highest is senior level. And so, these are just different things, different ways people are classified in their jobs, obviously, but it can still be used to give us an idea of how we can provide recommendations in our reports. And then Holly has filled in here, or at least the United Way's LinkedIn is recommending that these are the kinds of companies that we should track to compare. So look at this. So the United Way Brazil. And this is Brazil. So I'll bet you that somebody was looking for this page to follow, and they ended up following our United Way on accident. That might be something to look into and figure out exactly why that occurred, but that's kind of an insight that we have there. So if we wanted to, we could look at to see really why or what the United Way Brazil is doing differently to get this engagement rate and have this many followers. We can do the same thing with the National United Way page, but it looks like our engagement rate is higher than the national page, although they have 60,000 more followers than we do. So these are some of the metrics on LinkedIn. I hope this helps. If you want to, you can export the entirety of this report into a CSV or Excel document and really kind of dive into it. And that'd be kind of interesting. I bet you could develop some cool visualizations that way. But those are the three main tabs for the analytics on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, please give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to help answer any questions. Thank you.